So thank you for that. I think for the topic here, I have a great situation in the fact that I just joined the company after more than 20 years in telecom, Ericsson, Sony Ericsson, a couple of years in agency, and then Nokia at the end. So mobile banking was very much also what I looked into. But now, 15 months into Bang & Olufsen, I had the pleasure of looking, assessing for 3 or 4 months, and actually building a marketing strategy very much in line with what the CEO, Tu Mantoni, had put in front of the company. So that would be my aim for how I have connected my marketing strategy to the overall business plan, which I think is the key theme. Let's see if this works. There you go. So my idea is to obviously, first of all, just introduce the company so everybody knows what the group is all about. And then I want to give you an insight into the overall strategy that the CEO, Tu Mantoni, set in front of us 2 years ago. And then I will give you a couple of highlights from my marketing strategy, and then finally give you an idea about how these two assets kind of comes together in what we call key performance indicators. But first of all, Bang & Olufsen, there's always an emotion coming when I say I come from Bang & Olufsen. Many people, particularly in Europe, have a feel. It's a very strong brand and asset. Also thanks to Boris that sits over here that took care of this region here not long ago. So we have a very strong brand, and what is a part of the new strategy is to make sure that more consumers enjoys the core value of the Bang & Olufsen brand. And one of the strategies was to launch a sub-brand called Play, B&O Play by Bang & Olufsen, which should have a lot of the same attributes, but should be price-wise more achievable, but also addressing another target group. And that should then fuel in consumers to the core part of our business. Another part of our business is with Uwe and a couple of other car brands. We realized that the car is probably the best place to really enjoy music. And we have quite good success in partnering up on bringing stereo equipment to high premium cars. And again, an excellent opportunity to get in touch with our brand and then further into the universe of Bang & Olufsen. I'm sure you have seen some of these, the latest flagship television, our Beolab 5 speakers, and some quite iconic designs. And that's a little bit also part of the new strategy for Tu Mantoni, is to find back what was it that made Bang & Olufsen so distinct in the market. And we've done a brand exercise where we come into a very important word called magic. Whatever it's mechanic magic, or it's design magic, timeless. This is what we center most of our product development and also our marketing activities around. So these are products you've seen. This is, as you see, a new, fresh universe of B&O. We just have several awards coming out for the A9, which is quite unique in its shape. We are moving into interior design, as well as our new headphones H6 over there. I haven't really got it confirmed, but I had one of my retailers coming down, so if some of these products feels appealing to you, there should be a chance to listen and try them out down in the reception later today. Apart from Play brand, the core brand, like I said, we have also a really good relationship with the car brands. I'm going to show you a small film. Right now, it gives you a good flavor of how we are tying the two brands together and obviously how we serve our partners in the car industry. In this example, it's BMW and a great promotion we have right now with the 5, 6, and 7 series that we just produced. Yeah, so that gives you a flavor of the tonality, our timelessness, and how we bind the automotive together with our AV business. So that was a little bit about the company, that I represent the group as such. And I think here is a summary of the strategy that Tu Mantoni put in front of the management board 2 years ago. There are 6 what he called must-win battles. And I can tell you it was not a rose garden that he inherited 2 years ago. He was sitting as a board member, so he knew what he went into. But still, there were many different activities that needed to take shape. One of the first must-win battles was a leadership in acoustics. We knew that acoustics and speakers would be the market where we would be excellent, and we need to be excellent. The TV business and the audio business as such is tough businesses, and where we could really make excellence from our heritage and from our capabilities would be within acoustics. So we needed to reinforce that position. What we also wanted to do was, of course, make the brand broader, and the launch of a new brand, B&O Play, as I said. Optimize the retail network. We had around 800 stores globally, worldwide, some of them performing excellent, with exactly the same products, with the same tools, others not. And there would need a certain optimization, as we called it. Obviously, we could also see 2 years ago that Europe might have a steeper dip than what we thought, but we could see the brick market represent a growth area that needed to be addressed. There was a certain transition in R&D, not getting too technical here, but producing technical platforms yourself in a very fast-paced world is not, for a niche luxury brand, necessarily the right approach. So there was a transition where you start to partner up on key technology deliverables with outsourcing and so on. And then last but not least, simplify, speed up execution. There would need a lean organization that should be speeding up. So these were the 6 must-win battles, and when I came on board, I needed to look at this and say, what can global marketing really be a key contributor, if not leader and driver for? And I identified 4 of them, and they are the 4 that I just hammered in here. And I will go a little bit in depth on each of the marketing pillars addressing these 4 must-win battles. So, these were kind of the 4 pillars that I put in front of the board of Bang & Olufsen 4 months into the job, and all of them approved and thought this must be the right way to go. Obviously, the first one is pretty much straightforward to the first must-win battle. We need to build leadership in acoustics. We need to be known as a great acoustic manufacturer. I needed to launch the brand. It was launched. It needed to be make sure that we get it out worldwide. I felt like the digitalization we just talked about was not something that was really coming in strongly in the company, and I wanted to re-emphasize that, but with a global approach, as I needed to grow in brick. So that's the bridging, and then efficiency in operations. So what is Bang & Olufsen known for? Design, craftsmanship, good quality, luxury priced were some of the key components coming out. Some talked about great sound, but not all. So we realized that we really need to be known for our key competence in sound. And another thing, back to the consumer trends, to the amplification or whatever we call it. MP3 players were suddenly being massively rolled out. And the way we consume music now might be not to the satisfaction of the artist that actually produced the songs. So the compressed music is giving a quality of reproduction which we don't think deserves what the artists are putting in of effort into these productions. So that was why we need to go out on a mission to make sure that consumers like yourself are really taking care of what quality music brings to your life and how it enriches your life. So this is something that we are building into a new campaign brand platform, which we call Great Sound Deserves Bang & Olufsen. And this is not only because we see a trend in the market, this is because in Struer, up in north of Jutland, we have some of the world's best acoustics. Tuning a loudspeaker is not an automatization process. It's an artist that sits and actually with the human ear is tuning it finally. What we're doing in Struer is we are making sure there's a lot of algorithm going into tuning the speakers at the beginning, all depending on what you have in your room and so on and so forth. But the last piece is really a craftsmanship. And that's something we have, and that's something we want to make sure that people care about and is aware about. So here's a series of why we think this is important. Everyone has music which moves them. All of you. Or films that makes you feel something. Your favorite music can transport you back to distant times and memories. Or it can take you to forgotten memories. It uses the sound people love to communicate the superior quality of Bang & Olufsen sound. So that's the fundamental insights we have to what we want to do. And like I said, our mission as an AV producer is to make sure that we are reproducing exactly as the artist intended it to in the studio. So great sound deserves Bang & Olufsen. So I'm just giving you an idea about what is happening exactly right now. So 10 o'clock, there's going to be a press release coming out with the first physical proof of this brand platform, which we call the Living Room Tour. So we want to make sure that we give artists an opportunity to actually talk about their intention, their feelings, their music, together with Bang & Olufsen when they're producing a new album. And Mr. Sir Paul McCartney is actually coming out in a couple of weeks with a whole new album called New. The single is out, and it's more than 1 million hits on YouTube, and it seems to be quite an interesting album coming out. There are 4 producers to it, among others, Mark Ronson, who is a young, hip UK producer. So there is something from the old Beatles days, and there's something new and hip. It's a really interesting album, and the fact is that we would like to make sure that we tell the world, together with Sir Paul McCartney, that high-quality music should be listened to high-quality equipment. So this is the start of what we call a living room tour. It's not only Paul McCartney. On our next one, it will be another artist that will have an opportunity. I think what is unique about this platform is that it's not just a one-off shot. We actually today is going to announce it. There is a press release going out here at 10 o'clock. And what is quite unique here is that we will have and host a live Q&A. So all the fans worldwide on the 15th of October can actually tweet, Facebook, or even upfront ask a question to Paul about his new album. There is a single out, and there is an opportunity to actually interact. The whole trick is, of course, that live Q&A is happening on the Bang & Olufsen website. So we will have media players with media partners talking about the opportunity here. Paul McCartney's promotional wheel is already going in and talking about 15 October. What we will then do is, a couple of weeks later, take the edit of this Q&A, which is our asset, and make sure that all the fans, all the ones that missed it, have an opportunity to come back on our website and engage in this Q&A and listen to why Paul, now after so many years, still have something on his mind, something in his heart he would like to tell his fans. And they will go on our site and they will see it, and we will launch that whole campaign on the 30th of October in conjunction with the launch of 3 new wireless speakers from Bang & Olufsen. So it's a piece of content which all should come into delivering on the promise of high quality music delivers through Bang & Olufsen. This you can see here are just mock-ups. I'm sorry, the campaign is not really, it's actually being created as we go along, yeah? So these days are gone where you have 3 months before where everything is set, yeah? My key asset is gonna be produced in 2 weeks' time, and I got 2 weeks to edit it, and then it's gonna live for 6 months. So it's definitely a different world. But the idea is, of course, to go and tease about the products. You can see here some of the teasers, particularly on the one on the left, we believe is gonna be quite a eye-catcher. But you see here, launching Paul McCartney's album New, and live Q&A 15 October. It's going to run out. There's going to be opportunities, emails, social media, everything running out. Ask question to Paul. Here is just a mock-up of the actual in London, we're going to go live in a living room setting where Paul sits and explains about the music. He's going to play the songs and talk about his inspirations and everything. All along, we're going to go down a little bit lower and talk about some exciting launches from Bang & Olufsen as well. And then on the actual product launch day, I've just hid it, but there will then be, of course, the whole content piece and then introducing our speakers afterwards. Now, just very quickly on how the marketing strategy goes about delivering in on acoustic as a leader. This is very single-minded and then a campaign that we think can be really interesting. It's not a product endorsement. It's about hooking up. It's about really a bigger mission in life than just introducing a new album and some products. And that's what intrigues and motivates the team, I think. Just briefly, when there are little fundings, I think a known fact is that partnering up is one of the ways you can get more activation. And we've done that. We have made a strategic partnership with Universal Music, who's helping us with Paul McCartney. Also because they are the world's biggest, but also because we share a mission of bringing people music and experiences as close to the original as possible. So we have the Bang & Olufsen brand, as I just talked to you about. Then we're using the same platform, but just differently, of course, to the B&O Play brand. So in this case, we think there is a really great match with the Deutsche Grammophon, who again shares a really strong passion for making sure that the young urban professionals, the opinion leaders of tomorrow, is getting interested in classical music. The classical music genre is usually something where you really appreciate good AV equipment because you need to hear the different nuances. So we're partnering up with Universal Music through Deutsche Grammophon in a show called the Yellow Lounge. And instead of me describing it, there is a very short film showing you exactly what it is. Yes, gives you a flavor of it. A complete different setting, complete different, but still gluing in on acoustics and music. And we use these kind of events, obviously, to get in touch with new, hip, opinion-leading people and launching in a very digital platform our new speakers, in this case, our new headphones. Just as an example. I think apart from building position, launching new brand worldwide, there is a third arm called digital focus. And I think in the luxury industry particularly, there is a tendency to go in with the double spread in the glamour magazines, which I think is a great branding exercise and keeping you top of mind if you have the funds to it. But in a company where things are getting tough, budgets are getting smaller, I assessed after 4 months, I did not believe that would be the best return on our investment. So I thought the digital platform would be the one that I needed to go into from a global scale. Now we have a mechanism with having 700 and something dealers out there that are also tipping in, and they're a good opportunity for them. But for us, what we realized was that also the affluent consumers is definitely online. We heard about the mobile phones and search and so on is happening. So we wanted to do that because we could also track much clearer. If you put a double spread in Financial Times, it's very difficult to go and say to our Knightsbridge store exactly what did that generate of traffic. That's at the end of the day our KPI number one, traffic down in the store so we can sell products. Now, going on a digital platform, along the way we can actually start to measure some of the KPIs in terms of book a demo, get a consultant to call me, get a newsletter, all that within a certain area. So we can see our investments paying off even on a geographic area. So I can track back on dealer. I can obviously explore my partnership better than in a static ad. I personally, having had more than 20 years in the mobile industry, seen the evolution, I think the mobile device, if you excel that, I think Burberry have been a very good example in taking digitalization to its very core. If you can leapfrog now into making affluent luxury experience on a mobile device, there might be a platform there you could excel in. So that's a little bit why I'm doing it. At the same time, the coffee table brand magazine is something a luxury brand should have. It's a very expensive asset, and Bang & Olufsen killed it 2.5 years ago because it was really taking up a lot of the budget. So what I've initiated now, and it's going to go in on the street in a month's time, is a brand magazine, but exploring the strength of our brand with advertisement. Many of the Vogues and the big magazines is having 12 pages of high luxury brands in top and front of them, and it's even adding value to the readers. So a little bit of that philosophy is coming in, but back to the digitalization with a digital version to it. And I'm probably going over time, but I plan to just show you a little bit of it, because the important is to build a digital platform is to get consumers into giving yourself an email. And it's getting really crowded space. So you need to get it and then be excellent in being timely and relevant in your in your communication. Yeah? On-demand marketing, what McKinsey calls it. That's what they believe in 20 years, and we kind of share that vision. So we need to build that platform now, but we also recognize that print still have a value, and we are asking dealers to go in and do that. This is what we've done already with the latest launch. We have launched a surround system where we really, from a global perspective, didn't go print at all. We produced 5 films with each of the themes and KPIs. This is just a short one, which is going in on our whole design process of sound and physical design, because we believe that's the core for Bang & Olufsen, is actually the combination of great sound and good design. And that's what we are telling on the digital platform to our consumers. So if we can run this one here, these are the concept managers and the designers behind, and you will see how the whole thing actually got together.
The most fascinating things about being a designer for me is to be able to create.
What we are trying to do at B&O, and what we believe we are very good at, is actually to wrap technology and great experiences and beautiful designs. What we are aiming at is to understand what people's needs are and then design products that fit these needs.
I get a little information, and with that information I go back home and try to experiment a lot. And when I'm there and I present an idea, typically with a model, they have to fall in love with that idea and say, yes, we want to try, we want to do that.
What we are known for, as well as the beautiful design, is the compactness. And to be able to achieve this compactness, you actually have to work very closely together, because it's actually a compromise of a lot of things that has to meet and to sort of come together in a perfect unit. The inspiration was that it should be easy to fit into the home, but at the same time should give a surprisingly big sound experience. And that's how we came up with the idea of having the small compact satellites, and then combine this with this tower of power, which is a subwoofer, which would then impress from a sound perspective. Also, we give the possibilities to select different colors, so you can actually make it fit into your home decor. We have a wide range of brackets and stands, so that you are not limited to where you want to place it. This system is designed to satisfy the needs of most people. So obviously you can connect it to any B&O TV. You can actually connect this surround system to any TV you like. It's always very inspirational to try to expand the boundaries actually, and try to challenge other people and try to make them do their best so that we together can develop something which has not been seen before or is better than what is on the market today.
So we believe it's an authentic way of showing, and you see there was a lot of stories coming through that film. And we have 32 million views on the film. And 17% of them looked at the whole film. 2 minutes on YouTube is a long time. I think the average is around a little bit less than 30 seconds or something. So we're definitely looking into the digital platform to tell our stories and craftsmanship and so on. But at the same time, we are now producing a brand magazine. We're talking about consumer trends, compact living, and how our products are actually tailored into the new trends. We talk about our craftsmanship in the tortured chamber, we call it. There is a very extensive quality control of our product and tell our stories in various different ways, and obviously presents our product with this brand magazine. And like I said at the beginning, one thing is to come out and produce 800,000 brand magazines, but if I can get this going here, I can show you, in order to build the digital platform, we wanted to make sure that this catalog went digital. And there are a couple of reasons for that. How do you suddenly just build a digital platform? You got like 23% of your consumer base with an email permission. How would you get them up? New prospects or your existing customers? One of the methods that we think is there's no more brochures. We're only going to come in and show this on an iPad to consumers now coming into the Bang & Olufsen store. And they will be able to see this on an Android and Apple platform. What they will see is, apart from a short introduction, there will be some products and some news. There would also be opportunities to actually watch videos. So all the videos and all the production goes into the digital platform we can supply through this brand magazine as well. And that's the reason why we will go in and we will ask them for easily showing them the magazine and then just scroll down and ask, type in your email and we will send it to you. Or they will get a business card in case they don't feel like. So digital magazine, physical magazine is a part of what we believe in. And I think the last bit is not really so important. We go a little bit more top steering than what we used to do. I think the last bit is really about tying it all together. These are the corporate strategies. To ask me, I want to be built acoustic as a hero, leadership in acoustics. We need to launch the new Play brand in another setting than what we have already with Bang & Olufsen. We need to grow brick. We need to have a concept like the living room tour, which is universal. So we do this with Paul McCartney, but we do it in China with Lee Yundi. Lee Yundi is a very famous pianist and our endorser in China. So it's about building a concept that actually works worldwide. And then simplicity. So our KPIs, in this sense, is my ability to make sure that yourself and the rest of the consumers out in the world is looking at Bang & Olufsen. So when they consider our brand, sound, performance is one of our reasons. I'm obviously being measured on the brand awareness in the key markets that we're putting up, and I actually have net sales targets in my KPIs as well. And then I have an interesting one, cross-traffic from the main site. Bang & Olufsen is by far the most obviously known brand. How much traffic can I now still drive down to the new brand, as well as new fresh blood coming in? China, obviously, it's very much about brand awareness, and we had a discussion, I remember last night, a little bit about the philosophy about global, local, yeah? How important is it that I'm steering the creation of marketing assets globally? Yeah, I hold a global budget. I need to make concepts so my Chinese marketing director do not spend a lot of creation money in trying to fit it into China. There's a good reason for China because there are some different drivers. But as a global function, I set a target to minimize all creation to the only creation happening globally. And the tweaking is absolute minimum, and that's being measured. And then we are going, obviously, on a global media buying and a top steering with now clear reporting. So that's a little bit my travel for the last 15 months with Bang & Olufsen. It's been a really interesting ride. We're in the middle, as you can see, of the execution of the new strategy from 6 must-win battles. I have taken 4 of them, and I'm now being measured on actually delivering on them. And I think at least myself and the team feels there's a very good connection through what we're trying to achieve as a company and how marketing is hardwired into that mission. So with that, I will thank you for your attention, and that's pretty much it.
Thank you.